Hello and welcome to my first monthly YouTube channel member video thing. These used to be called Witch Weekly or Weekly Witchcraft when I was doing a members only podcast for my site, for my membership on my site. But that had to be shut down because of the company that ran it, the membership thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this series yet, but it is going to be a once a month, generally around the beginning of the month, kind of community check-in. I know I want to do like community notes, both our community as well as the witchcraft and pagan community at large. I will do a monthly tarot reading, a sort of astrological forecast because I'm learning about astrology. I also want to bring in and talk about different books that might be coming out that I find interesting or that I want to read. And there was something else. I have notes. Oh, yes, I also want to do like a Q&A type of section or segment in these videos. Obviously, there's not going to be one today because I don't have any questions. So when I get to that section, I will talk a little bit about what I want to do for that segment and how you can submit your questions for me to answer them. I also like to do a sort of general life update about my life and the things that are going on. Yeah. So hello and welcome to Witch Monthly. I have my coffee. It is currently almost 9 o'clock in the morning and I am ready for the day. I have an appointment today that I'm not ready to talk about yet, but it does impact my future that I'm excited for. That's happening in almost an hour, so that's going to be fun. So I'm recording this on March 26th. So, I'm a little bit ahead so you guys can have this on the 1st. And the weather here sucks right now. Over the weekend, we got like 2 feet of snow. And I am now tired of snow. At first, it was cool. I miss the snow from when I lived in Oregon. Now we live in Maine. And the snow is nice. But when it dumps 2 feet of snow on you overnight, that's a lot. And now it's supposed to rain all week, so our snow is gonna melt, and my house is 100 years old. The people who lived here before didn't take great care of it, and my basement's not finished, so we get water in the basement. Not a lot of water, not like standing water, but the water does leak through the basement walls and the foundation. And that's something on our list of things to look into when we have the extra money and the extra time to have someone come look at our basement and our foundation, because there's something wrong with it. What else? I have a new blog post, and it is a book review of a book called Witchcraft Unchained by Craig Spencer. I received the book for free from the publisher Crossed Crow Books in exchange for an honest review. That is now up on my blog if you want to go check that out. It was good. It wasn't like, oh my God, blow me out of the water good, but it's the history and traditions of British witchcraft. So it's relevant to a lot of Western magical practitioners, Western witches, because a lot of our witchcraft practices come from Europe and are rooted in British folklore and British traditions. And I did learn some new things, and some things kind of stewed and helped me cement my own personal thoughts and beliefs. So I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I didn't. But if you're interested in reading the full review, it's going to be on my blog. You can find the link for that in the description. Don't mind the background. I will have it. It's blurred. My office is kind of a mess. My kid's got her desk behind me. My fiance's got his desk over here. and I don't really have a proper space to record yet. Honestly, I don't even know where that would happen. But sitting here in front of my window, even though it's really gloomy and gray outside, the lighting's really good. So I'm going to sit here and record. Yeah, okay. So I guess that is it for my personal rambly baloney. And I want to get into community notes. So for our community, as channel members, thank you, first of all, for being a channel member. It really means a lot to me that you're here. I mean, I always feel weird with this kind of stuff because, like, you guys are paying me, basically, for being here on YouTube. Anyway, so the channel membership gets you this monthly video. It gets you any videos before they go live. You got top priority for questions to be answered. You have personal little badges that will show up in any live chats or premieres or when you leave comments or anything like that. I'm not sure what else YouTube allows me to do. Oh, you also get access to a members only Discord server. So if you have Discord, you have to connect your YouTube account to your Discord account in Discord settings, and then you should see my channel show up as having a server that you can join because you're a member. If there's anything else you all want to see out of being a channel member, let me know. I will do my best to figure that out. I was thinking about doing like a book club type of thing, but honestly, with everything that's going to be happening in my personal life soon, I'm not going to have time for that. So I don't want to start something just to have to stop it or have it kind of like fizzle out or whatever. So let me know in the comments of the video or in the Discord server or whatever if you have any ideas. I am all ears. Now, as far as community notes for the wider witchcraft community, I have several things I want to talk about. The first is that there are 2 bills in proposal in Florida that have passed one stage of being put into law. I tried to look this morning to see if they had been codified into law, if they had been signed by the governor. I couldn't find that information in the quick search that I did. It's possible that they were, knowing Governor DeSantis. But these 2 bills will allow schools, public schools, and charter schools, which are also considered part of the public school system, to have chaplains and like spiritual advisors, mainly chaplains, in public schools as volunteers, not as part of paid staff, but as volunteers. And the concerning part of this is, obviously, they are solely focused on Christian chaplains, right? But the people who volunteer to be chaplains in schools, they just have to pass a background check and be listed by the school on the school's website. There is no requirement for being educated. There is no requirement for being part of any like known clergy, and there's no requirement to having knowledge of working with kids. And it's worrisome because, like, one, we have separation of church and state for a reason. We don't need chaplains in schools who could potentially make kids uncomfortable, especially in Florida, where it's already uncomfortable and unsafe for a lot of kids that are in minority groups. A lot of queer kids are unsafe, trans kids are unsafe, and bringing a chaplain into a school system like that can just create all kinds of problems. There is a woman named, known as Lady Bridget of Everglades Moon Council in Florida, and that is a local council of the Covenant of the Goddess. She wrote a letter to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis basically saying that she's in favor of the bill so long as all chaplains are welcome and not just Christian chaplains. And you can find that particular information at the Wild Hunt. I will leave all of the links in the description for everything that I talk about if it has a link. I don't know how I feel about having chaplains in schools in general, even members of pagan clergy, because that's not what school is for. I understand that people will have their religious preferences and people will want to speak to chaplains or clergy members of their particular religion, but school is not the right setting for that, in my opinion. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that this is happening in Florida. Florida is a cesspool of ridiculousness, especially when it comes to politics. But I feel like this is just going to open the door for so many other states to do something similar and further disenfranchise minority groups and groups that are at a higher risk of discrimination by Christian members or by religious groups in general. The next thing I have to mention is that there is a free 3-day summit in April titled Shield and Spell, a gathering for witches, healers, and empaths. Per their website, it says the Shield and Spell Summit is your gateway to the arts of auric shielding and defensive magic, tailored for witches, healers, and empaths like you. This summit is a unique blend of practical, live, and pre-recorded workshops, enlightening talks, and interactive sessions designed to empower your spiritual journey. I am considering doing this. It is a free summit. Actually, it starts on April 2nd. So if you are seeing this after April 2nd, then it's over. I'm sorry. I don't know if they're going to have any replays. I am considering sort of like going to this online summit because I think it would be interesting. The host is a person named Wendy Mata. It says she is a bruja curandera by lineage and initiated shaman who is here to guide you during the Shield and Spell Summit. Oh, I need to brush up on my Spanish. Oh, that was not fun. Let's see. Day 1 is shielding. Ooh, interesting. So they are going to have Nicholas Pearson talk about crystal shields for psychic self-defense. If you're not familiar with Nicholas Pearson, he is a fantastic resource when it comes to crystals and their spiritual properties. Someone named Azerial Flame, Alexa Bronco, Hannah O'Neill, Sen Elias. Day 2 is about protection. Gonna have Ivo Dominguez, Tanae Stewart, Kevin Paul, Leandra Witchwood, Elise Wells. And day 3 is defensive magic with Leilani, Flor Celestial, April Remy, Wendy Mata, Aunt Clara, J. Allen Cross, and Kurdwer Siskadol. I'm not sure if I am saying that correctly. I only recognize a handful of these names, but it does seem like it's going to be a really good summit if you're interested. It is free, and the link for that is in the description. Next up is information about the Pagan Spirit Gathering, which is the summer solstice celebration held by Circle Sanctuary that happens in June. Registration is now open for this if you are privileged enough to be able to go. Per their website, Pagan Spirit Gathering brings together pagans of many paths and places to create and live in a magical village community. The gathering includes rituals, workshops, concerts, merchanting, bonfires, drumming, candlelight, labyrinth, Pagan Leadership Institute, life passages programs, and other activities. Per their website, tickets range in price from $85 for children and $355 for adults. More information can be found on their website. That is something that I would absolutely love to do, but it is 100% out of my price range because it's far away and the travel plus, the cost of those tickets, I can't do that. And I have 2 more things to talk about really quick. The first one is that it's only going to be applicable if you're local to Maine or you can come to the Maine area. The Maine Pagan Clergy, The Maine Pagan Clergy Association is holding their annual Professional and Leadership Conference in June. I know it's not happening in April, but this, I'm giving you advance notice. It is happening at Auburn Unitarian Universalist Church. The theme this year is community and connections, with one of their focus questions being, as a Maine pagan leader, what do connections mean to you? I am personally looking forward to going because it is not out of my price range. For one, tickets are only $10, and if you can't afford to pay, they don't turn you away. But also it's not too far from me. This is definitely feasible for me to do. And while it's hard for me to consider myself a leader in the pagan community, even though that's kind of what I do for work. Outside of YouTube and Round the Cauldron, I am a community manager, and the community centers around witchcraft and paganism and magical practices and things like that. I am a leader of a community for witches and pagans, which is weird to talk about and weird to think about, but that's my job. I was thinking about hosting a workshop with them because they are accepting workshop ideas. I'm not sure if I can do that. But I have thrown around the idea of talking about what online community leadership looks like and how it can benefit people who don't have access to a local community for one reason or another. I haven't decided if I'm going to pitch that idea for a workshop yet, but if I do, I'll let you know. And then the last piece of news I have is personal for my own. I am working on the final formatting and edits of my new book, Whispers of the Soul. It is about shadow work, and it is a shadow work and workbook all in one. It has information about shadow work, how it applies to spiritual practices, different guided meditations to do, a whole bunch of journal prompts, and some helpful rituals and stuff at the end of it. I'm hoping to have the ebook version available for pre-order soon. When I publish with KDP, so Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon, I don't have the option to do pre-orders for the physical copy, but I'm hoping to have this book out by Samhain, maybe sooner. It just depends on how fast I can get the formatting and editing done in the midst of regular life and work and all that stuff. So I will make a public announcement when it is available for pre-order, and I am thinking about having a couple of signed copies when I get some author copies. Not sure yet, but we'll see. We'll see about that. So that's it for community notes. I'm still working on gathering sources and weeding through the ridiculousness that is Google alerts for the words pagan and witchcraft, because there's a lot of nonsense in that. But also pagan is a last name. So Google alerts bring me so many different things for the word pagan that have nothing to do with paganism, because articles and stuff written by people with the last name pagan. Anyway, if you have anything that you want me to talk about as far as community news, let me know. Send me an email, leave me a comment or anything here, and I will include it in the next month's video. If you have sources, places where I can find community notes or different organizations or things like that, let me know, because I am always gathering and collecting information for these types of things where I can talk about the things that are important to us in our community on a grander scale. So with community notes being out of the way, let's go ahead and do our monthly tarot reading. Okay, so this month I'm going to read from my traditional manga tarot. And I think I'm just going to pull 3 cards. 3 cards sounds good. I will pull 1 card for the monthly theme. I will pull 1 card for something to watch out for. And I will pull 1 card for something to keep in mind. Go ahead and shuffle these really quick. Okay, so our monthly theme is death. Death. Things are going to be changing, and while we might not like those changes, they're kind of necessary. But it's important to remember that just because things are changing and things are ending and our doors are closing, the universe and our gods over here on this side are going to be opening doors for more opportunities for us. This is not an ending. This is just the switching of a cycle, and the cycle is starting over again. So things are going to be changing this month. April is going to see some things leaving. It's going to see us letting go of some things, but it's really, really important for us to not try to resist that change, because it's going to be necessary. So with that in mind, we need to watch out for the Five of Swords. Watch out for the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is competition. Be careful that you're not competing with the people around you in an unnecessary way. Don't get stuck in traps, especially with death being the theme of the month. Don't get stuck in those logic traps of competing and comparing yourself to the people around you. Because when you do that, you slow your own progression and you hold yourself back. And if you're holding yourself back, then death can't come in and help you transition smoothly to the new opportunities that are waiting for you. So death is our theme. We need to watch out for the Five of Swords, and we need to keep in mind the Sun reversed. The Sun reversed. Now, just because it's reversed doesn't mean that the meaning is bad or backwards. The Sun reversed is about turning that joy inwards and finding the joy and happiness within ourselves. And this is going to be really important with death and the changes that are coming, and with the fact that we're being cautioned against competition and comparing ourselves to other people. You got to be able to find the joy within yourself. Remember who you are. Remember what you enjoy and what you like doing, and do that. Take care of yourself on the inside, because that's going to be really important. Something that you need to keep in mind. Let the sun not shine outwards, but shine inwards on the inside at your heart. So again, death, the Five of Swords, and the Sun reversed. That is what April is going to look like. And then now into our astrological forecast. I am still learning astrology. Astrology is a massive subject that I only know on a superficial level. So I like to do these astrological forecasts as much for you as I do for myself, because it helps me get into more astrology that I might not have seen otherwise. So for April, Mercury retrograde starts April 1st, and it goes all the way into April 25th. So the usual stuff applies. I have a whole blog post about Mercury retrograde. Honestly, the hype is overrated. This happens like 2 or 3 times a year. We just need to be careful with our communication. Don't jump to conclusions and make any big decisions during Mercury retrograde unless you have to, and everything will be fine. It's okay. On April 8th, we have a solar eclipse, a new moon solar eclipse, and the path goes through North America. I know there are people here in Maine preparing, because just a couple hours away from me is going to be the path of totality. I'm glad I'm not in the path of totality for this, honestly, because that's just too many people for me to deal with. I will put a picture of the map up here on the video so you can see the path that the eclipse is going to take in North America, if that's something that you will be able to see the path of totality. I don't personally have any magical differences when it comes to eclipses. Some people do, some people don't. Personal preference. On April 19th, we enter Taurus season. The sun will move into Taurus. I'm not too familiar with Taurus yet, so when I get a better grasp on that Taurus energy, I will write up a post, like a blog post or something here on the YouTube community tab with more information. And then this month, we will also have a full moon in Scorpio, which for some reason in my notes, I forgot to write that down. So I will also put that either here on the screen. I will put all that information up here so that you can see it, because I forgot to put it in my notes. The next section of these will be the Q&A. I don't have any questions for this month, so if you have a question that you want me to answer for next month, you can leave me a comment here or send me an email. I am not currently checking messages on social media. In fact, I deleted all of the apps from my phone. And so literally whatever question you want. Witchcraft, paganism, personal life, parenting, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you have a question, I will do my best to answer it. I am running out of time for recording this video. It's taking me longer than I thought I would, and my meeting is in like 30 minutes. I do want to include a section on books that are coming out, so I will create like a slideshow or something, and I'll put it here in this section for you all to see, but I don't have time to talk about them. Oh, I need to get a grip on recording these things. I do want to mention that Morgan Daimler's book is coming out in April. The new book, Fairy, The Other World by Many Names. I'm really interested in that book. I believe that is the book where they said they were going to talk about the Fae outside of Ireland, and the Fae, like, are the Fae outside of Ireland and other Celtic countries. So I'm interested in that book. And here you go, have the little slideshow of all of these books. So that's it for this month. I will get this down. Please leave me in the comments if you have any suggestions or want me to change anything, want to see something, let me know. And I hope everyone is well. I hope you have a wonderful month of April, and I will see you back here with a members only video next month. And I promise it'll be better than this one. Bye for now.